Hey guys, welcome back to K Comics. Today we'll be continuing our review on Thor 2020 run, and what we have here today is part 1 of 6 of the pre-run. In the previous issue, Thor found out that there is a problem with his hammer and he doesn't know the cause of that, so he needs answers. And also, in the classic Thor run, whenever Donald Blake summons Thor to do battle, wherever Donald Blake vanishes to has been a mystery until now. So let's get into it. But first, like the video and subscribe to the channel. For every light, there's darkness, and for every golden eagle of Asgard, there's a serpent, with golden eagle being Odin, or really the king of Asgard, and the serpent being Jormungand. For Odin and the serpent are destined to battle for eternity, and Odin knows that one day he will have no other choice than to burden his unending battle to his son, who will later become the golden eagle of Asgard. With that in mind, he sought to prepare Thor for that by creating a shadow for him as well, a shadow in Donald Blake, to teach a young and bull-headed Thor humility pertaining to the fragile humans the gods have to protect. And so whenever Donald Blake is in trouble, with a crack of his cane to the ground, he will be transformed into the mighty Thor to save the day. Which begs the question, where does Donald Blake go when he summons Thor to battle the demons of this world? And it turns out that Odin was technical enough to create an almost perfect pocket wall that stretches for forever for Donald Blake. And I'm using almost perfect wall because the sun never sets, and while Thor battles in the real world, all that Donald Blake has is a long hike in the Summerland, greeting random people who are also really nice. But apparently, Donald Blake doesn't have a house in this world, because Odin was technical enough to create this world, but not technical enough to create him a house. But it doesn't matter, because time doesn't move the same as in the real world, and when he's back as Donald Blake, he forgets everything. And after Loki hearing all of this, he was confused as to why Thor will tell him what he feels is a boring story. But Thor told him that he was going to bring Donald Blake back because he wants to walk around people like a normal dude and rest his mind from all that king stuffs like Senate meeting or escape Vostok for a while, because all that dude wants is ale and more ale. But Loki knows this is all cap. And so when Thor told him that he wants him to cover him up whilst he switches with Donald Blake, and for Loki to hide him from the eyes of Sif, Loki told him that even though he has renounced the title of being the god of lies and he's now the god of stories, he can still smell the lies Thor has cooked up for him. Like, do you smell what King Thor is cooking? Please forgive me about that. Forgive me about that. And with them going back and forth, Loki was getting close and close to Thor's hammer, and when he finally got to it, he picked it up and then yeeted it at Thor, only for Thor to catch it with his chest. After that, Thor was shocked because he didn't know Loki knew. And if you've been following this channel for a while now, we've known for quite some while now, and that Loki in fact did even leave the hammer when Sif teleported the hammer to Jotunheim during Thor vs Beta Ray Bill fight back in issue number 4. And I have the entire playlist in the description below if you haven't seen that. But then Loki tells him that all that he told him about Donald Blake was unnecessary because he already knew that, and in fact he even knows where Thor goes when Donald Blake is around, which is that Thor goes to the Elder Sleep, where he can communicate with the spirits of the old dead kings before him, and also told him that he can just tell him that he needed answers instead of lying to him that he just wasn't feeling okay, so he wants to feel normal like everyone. Like, what the get out of here. And so with that, Loki agreed and told Thor that he owes him one for that, and with that, Thor did it. He swapped. He switched places with Donald Blake. And when Thor got there, the elder spirits, the ancient kings, turned their eyes from Thor because they couldn't bear to see what Thor is about to witness, and the guilt that will follow after that. Because everything in this once perfect world has gone wrong. Whilst Odin has been away, the magic that Odin casted to keep Donald Blake from noticing how long he's been out here weakened, causing Donald Blake to wake up in his own dream, calling out for Thor to save him. But Thor couldn't hear him, and it wasn't his fault. And with this amount of time passing, it drove Donald Blake to insanity. And so with that, he murdered every living thing around, because he feels he's being abandoned by the gods. He's even killed a serpent in his wake. Talk about doing a favor for Odin. And I mean, he served his purpose after all. And so with Donald Blake swapping places with Thor, Loki knew he had to be crazy. I mean, look at his hair, and he's all covered in blood, for crying out loud. Just look into his eyes and tell me if it's not crazy to you. And also, this time, he has a scalpel with him, and I don't know where he got that from, but we'll have to find out in the next issue, I think. And so when Loki asked, "You is Blake?" he responded, "Nah," and then attacked Loki by throwing his scalpel straight into Loki's neck, and so he was on. Loki wanted to teach Donald Blake some lesson, as he's a god and wouldn't be bested by a pretend Thor named Donald Blake. But Blake told him that he should act doctor to his name whilst he's addressing him, and he is no Thor pretend whilst he kicks Loki's ass, because apparently he's picked up some new powers and skills on his massacre. And I'm in the background like, "Loki, when are you teaching him some lessons?" And with this anger, Dr. Donald Blake, and I must add doctor, he received to be Thor's refuge, so he broke the cane into two, effectively breaking the bridge between him and Thor's transformation. And so here we are again. So if you like this, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And we'll meet here again in the next one. And so let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And also let me know if you want me to do a review on the current Hawks run. Et voila.